我是克雷儿，欢迎回到我的频道。今天这个影片，你要跟着我一起做一整回的托福口说真题模拟考，总共4个题型。那这个影片适合完全还没有考过托福，想了解口说部分的考试顺序以及该怎么准备，或者是你已经考过托福，但是想知道到底怎么样的笔记还有口说方式才可以让你在真实考试中拿到高分。那如果你第一次来到我的频道 ，Hello， 我是托福117分的英文老师克雷儿，在这边分享最有效实用的托福学习跟英文学习资源。所以喜欢这样的内容，记得订阅我的频道。让我们直接开始。以下的托福口说题目都出自这份完整的托福模拟考，里面有题目以及示范逐字稿都帮你整理好啦，所以记得去底下资讯栏免费领取这份完整的托福模拟考 PDF 哦。好，进口说第一题，先听题目。
Some people like to take lots of photographs at parties with friends or family. Others think that this prevents people from fully participating in parties. Which do you agree with? Explain why.
准备时间15秒钟，可以开始写笔记。
Please begin speaking after the beep. Beep.
I agree with the idea of taking photos with friends and families at parties for the following reasons. To begin with, it's a great way to bond with people at the party. For example, last year at the Halloween party, I was able to take a lot of photos with my friends and families there in our costumes, and it created a special memory for us. On top of that, taking photos allows me to share those memories with other people who weren't present there. For example, I posted our Halloween pictures on Instagram, and my friends who weren't able to make it to that party also shared our special moment. This is why I feel this way. 口说第二题，先读一篇阅读，再听听力，再进口说。我们进阅读。
Hey Paula, you usually act in these productions. What do you think about this decision?
I don't like it at all.
But you're a theater major, so wouldn't this benefit you?
How can it be if the guy they hired already has a busy career? He's already directing several other shows in the city, and from what I hear, he'll only be on campus like once a week.
Oh, that's not much time.
I mean, I'm in this show, and I'm afraid we'll be left to work on the songs and practice the dances all by ourselves. We'd be much better off with a student directing because a student can hold rehearsals more often. I mean, there's no point to practicing if the director isn't actually present.
Well, there is that other benefit to hiring him.
You mean getting more people to go? Honestly, I don't think that'll happen.
But isn't the guy pretty famous?
Sure, famous in his field, in the world of the theater. Students like me who love musical theater, we know him, but the average student has no idea who he is. They've never even heard of him.
Yeah, actually, I've never heard of him before.
Exactly. So he's not actually going to bring in anyone who wasn't planning to attend already.
听完听力后，可以准备30秒钟后口说回答60秒钟。
Please begin speaking after the beep. Beep.
The campus announcement mentions that the university has hired a professional theater director to direct a show on campus. The woman in the listening, however, disagrees with the idea for a couple of reasons. First, she believes that the professional theater director has a very busy schedule and could only come to campus once a week. The students will be left alone for their singing and dancing practice, and she wouldn't like that for herself. She would rather have a student director who can be there more often for their rehearsals. On top of that, she believes that having a professional theater director won't attract a larger audience like how the school plans to, because the average student wouldn't have any idea who that person is, and the only people who would attend will be the ones who already plan to go there. This is why she feels this way. 如果你喜欢这样的免费托福备考资源，我还有整理托福最新的真题，还有写作模板以及范文，都在这个托福备考大礼包里面。只要现在加我的 LINE @dyz2134w， 或去底下点击连结，我就会把托福大礼包一次寄送给你哦。口说第3题，先阅读文章，再听听力，再口说回答。我们先进阅读文章，一边抄笔记。抄完阅读笔记后，进听力。
So, recently a friend of mine started a company that makes educational DVDs for children. You know, a whole series of videos that are fun for the kids, but also teach them some basic reading and language skills. They're the kind of videos that elementary school teachers would show to their kids in the classroom. Now my friend, she knew that her videos were really good, the best on the market, but teachers weren't really buying them because, well, there was no way for the teachers to know if they were any good. After all, they'd never seen them, right? So, here's what she decided to do. She sent one DVD, the first one in the series, to several elementary school teachers in the area without charging anything. It was expensive for her to do this, of course, but boy did it pay off. The teachers who received this first video showed it to their classes. They saw that the students thought the videos were fun and, more importantly, the teachers saw that students were learning from them. So, once the teachers saw how good the video was, lots of them ordered all the DVDs in the series. She kept offering the free first video to any teacher who wanted one, and her DVDs became a success nationwide as more and more teachers heard about and tried them.
抄完笔记后，准备30秒钟后口说回答。
Please begin speaking after the beep. Beep.
The reading passage discusses the concept of experienced goods, which are goods whose value or usefulness cannot be noticed until someone experiences it. The lecturer in the listening section gives a perfect example. He mentions that there was once an educational DVD company that sells DVDs to teach children some reading skills and language skills. The elementary school teachers didn't see the values of those DVDs, so this company started sending free first DVDs to the elementary school teachers. The teachers were able to play those DVDs in classes and saw how their students love it and benefit from it. So the teachers went back to order more of those DVDs, and this company went on to become a national success. So this example clearly illustrates the idea of experienced goods. 第4题直接听听力，抄笔记后口说回答。
You've all seen pictures of polar bears, right? Those are the giant white bears that live in the Arctic, up near the North Pole, where it's extremely cold and snowy for much of the year. Polar bears live most of their lives in freezing temperatures, so they have developed certain body features or adaptations that help them stay warm. Let's talk about a couple of these adaptations. First, polar bears have an adaptation to help them hold in the heat of the sun. As you know, dark colors absorb more sunlight than lighter colors do, so an animal living in the cold can stay warmer if the animal has dark coloring. You might be wondering what this has to do with polar bears, since they have white fur. Well, their fur only looks white. In fact, it is translucent, that is, light can pass through the fur. The bear's skin underneath their fur is black. So when sunlight comes through the fur and hits their skin, the black skin absorbs a lot of light and heat from the sun and warms up their bodies. Polar bears also have an adaptation that keeps cold water from reaching their skin. As I said, they spend a lot of time swimming in icy water. Now, I'm sure you know that for most animals, and also for people, having wet fur or hair makes you lose body heat very quickly. Well, polar bears need a way for their fur to continue insulating heat, even when submersed in water. They do it by having naturally woolly fur. The oils in the fur repel water and make their fur waterproof. This creates a kind of barrier between a polar bear's skin and the water that it swims in. The bears can spend hours in icy cold water without feeling cold.
The lecturer talks about 2 adaptations that polar bears develop to be able to survive in the freezing cold weather in the Arctic area. The first adaptation is their darker skin under the lighter color fur. Their lighter color fur is actually translucent, meaning the light could pass through their fur to reach the darker color skin, and the skin underneath the white fur could absorb the heat and preserve their body temperature. Another adaptation polar bears develop is the oily fur they naturally have. To be able to swim underneath ice-cold water, they have to be able to keep the cold water away from their skin, so they have naturally oily fur that allows them to spend hours underneath the cold water and not lose their body heat. These are the 2 adaptations from polar bears that help them survive in the freezing cold weather. 如果你喜欢这样的托福真实模拟考题练习，今天的题目还有示范回答逐字稿我都放在这一份 PDF 里面，只要去底下点击第一个连结，我就会免费寄送给你。那如果你需要更多的免费托福备考资源的话，可以看这个播放清单。如果要看另外一个托福口说示范影片，我会放在这边。那喜欢这样影片，记得订阅我的频道，加帮这个影片按赞。我们下次见喽，拜拜。